Yeah. Hey, yeah. Okay. 30,000 in the pocket, no change. Okay. I might pass the ball, but this is no game. Okay. All my girls, they love and hate me the same. Okay. So when I die, I ain't gonna be from old age. Somebody gonna want revenge. Somebody might want it now. Right pocket got euros. Left pocket got pound. Somebody gonna want revenge. Somebody might want it now. Throw the ball with the right hand, catch.
Coach, thanks. CA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Inner Harbor and M&T Bank Stadium here in Baltimore, Maryland. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the New York Giants and the Baltimore Ravens. The final playoff push is upon us. It's Week 12 of the NFL season at CA Sports. Carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Down. 8 Reed.
Silver. What's the end? He's checking.
Leo.
On the ground, this is Saquon Barkley. He'll have a first down past the 40. A big chunk of yardage there, 37 yards. Opening quarter, his opening carry of the game, and I think they'll give it to him a few more times, as they should.
You're exactly right about that. With that type of a run, you want to repeat it many times until they show signs of stopping it. I think he did his visualization exercise before this one, and they're paying off.
Recon, 132 fighter.
You got tight right there.
They keep it with Barkley on first down. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3.
We got three, fellas. We got it.
Throwing Jones. And his throw is incomplete. Amari Cooper, his intended receiver, and it's 3rd and short.
But when you're going up against a talented receiver like that, you just know that they're going to bring more people to him, right? They're going to double cover him every chance they get.
I think that is what we're going to see all game long, an early taste of that double, maybe even sometimes triple coverage we might see.
Yeah, I think what they're counting on, his talent to sometimes beat that double coverage.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And he'll have his man. That's Cooper. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 20-yard line.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Second and 6. That's complete to Slayton. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. A gain of 13. It's a first down. Well, they're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this. And, hey, you know, how you guys get...
And he will take it on in for a giant touchdown. Evan Ingram, his 4th touchdown on the year. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Building confidence after a loss, that's a good way to do it. The loss last game, but first drive here in this one, cashing it in for 6.
Hey, they can talk all they want about putting a loss behind them. I think that drive there did more than any conversation they had, don't you think?
That's exactly right. Puts that to bed. And this is what they said all week long. A lot of things they needed to do differently. But whatever they said appears to have worked. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 20. Yard line.
They're on 26-yard line.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 26. First carry now for Justice Hill. Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Jackson. And a quick throw here, that's complete. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Brings up 3rd and 3.
Jackson looking to throw on 3rd. He's going deep for Brown. It's caught inside the 25. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Hollywood Marquise Brown with touchdown number 7 on the year as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and we are tied at 7. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31.
Get off the field. Big ass.
61, Matchbox White. Ready?
On the run, it's Barkley. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
Hey, switch gears.
Watch the safety creep.
They'll look to throw for it on 3rd and 1. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. So apparently some grabbing there in the middle of the O-line.
I've often wondered why that doesn't happen more often for guys that play center. Having to snap the ball and then trying to get your hands into the proper position, that's difficult to do. He got caught that time.
So following the holding call, what can they do here on 3rd and long?
Hey, wahoo!
From the gun, Jones. Cooper's got it. 3 catches now this afternoon, the same number he had all of last week. Also, it's a first down.
All right, let's just go ahead and walk through this one pretty easily, right? Blast off the line of scrimmage, get downfield to a certain point, usually around 8 to 10 yards, turn around and make sure the quarterback sees your numbers and set yourself up for the pass.
A well-executed curl route by Charles Davis. A first down carry for Barkley. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
On 2nd down, here's Barkley. He's got a first down and then some at midfield. He gets it across the 50 and down to the 48. It's a giant first down on a gain of 16.
That's how you get right up off of the mat because on the last play, they stoned him in the backfield and dropped him for a loss. But he's the type of guy that scared me a little bit because he's not daunted. Just got right back up, showed some confidence, and picked up a first down with his very next run.
So a solid run by Saquon Barkley and another 1st and 10 here.
4 down. Hey, number 8's coming. Number 8's coming.
Protein spill. Hey, Delta. Five.
Looking to throw. Jones. Catch made by Slayton. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. Giant football, and we're ready to begin the 2nd quarter as they've got it with a 2nd and 1 coming up. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves them with a very manageable 2nd and 1.
Check 26.
Greystone travel.
Get wide.
2nd and 1. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Marching in for the sack, Matthew Judon.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
He's got his man. This is Tate. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Golden Tate, his first touchdown on the year. And the Giants have taken the lead. And there they got him the ball. Just get it to him, let him do the rest.
You know, he probably said that to his quarterback as he broke the huddle. I like the play call. Just get it to me. I'll take care of the rest of it.
Helping out his rack, right? RAC.
Run after catch, and he loves that, and he's going to carry that in at contract time.
The Ravens take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. They trail a 1-score deficit, 14-7, as they come up 1st and 10.
Hey, here we go. Check 24. Check Cleo.
The drive starts here with a carry by Ingram. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28.
It's a pickup of 3. Brings up 2nd and 7 at the 28-yard line.
59's mark, 59's mark. Go, 59. Yo, I'm coming. Mike, check. 59. Here we go.
To throw is Jackson. He's got it to Ingram, complete. That one good for 20 on the catch and run. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7.
Here we go. Check the hot read. Check 9. Shield them.
They get this to Smith on the jet sweep. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43.
Anytime the offense shows what they call a shot play or a chunk play where they're trying to get big yardage, sometimes people just call it gadget plays, and you hold it to a gain that we just saw there, you feel pretty good about yourself as a defense.
This is 3rd and 1. Very likely 4-down territory, even if they don't get it, though.
25, check 25. Get around, West.
He didn't even try to signal for a timeout, so they must have not been aware of the numbers.
I think he lost track of the time left in the play clock and probably was trying to read the defense and trying to figure out which play to run and just lost track, and it cost him.
Bad time to get a delay of game penalty there. Not that there's a good time, but that makes it 3rd and 6. Jackson. He's going to let this one go deep. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket.
At their own 20-yard line.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
He lost 6 there on the first down play.
You have to give big-time credit to the cornerback on that play. Most of them like to just sit back and say, I'm playing pass. But he diagnosed that play so fast and got into the backfield for a loss of yardage. That's a monster play by a corner.
Pilot, 64, weak.
Now on 2nd and 16. Jones. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Chris Wormley in there to get him. It's a loss of 5. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Hey, exit. Hey.
It's our time. 57's the mic. 57's the mic.
Now.
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. Being chased out left. Got a man, Slayton. That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
And he's able to get it out of there, and this is a pretty good kick. This is fielded at the 27. An excellent return that time, 26 yards. And the Ravens set up well to begin their drive as it'll begin in enemy territory already.
You gonna see me in your nightmares, son. You gonna see me in your nightmares.
Hey, 58 is the mic.
Jackson on first down. And Jackson cannot get away, and he'll go down. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the second quarter, 14-7. We'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL.
Mike, 5-9. Go.
Throwing on second and long. Jackson. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down. So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. From the gun, Jackson. His throw incomplete. Hollywood Brown, the intended receiver, and it's 2nd down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter. A lot of time to change things. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Jackson. And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. O'Shane Zimenez. What a play by him. That's going to go as a loss of 13. So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football. Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
And the penalty helps, but not a whole lot. It's still 3rd and long. From the gun, it's Jackson. And he's going to go down again. Vic Beasley in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. The Giants going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Now Justin Tucker. He has hit from 61 in his career, so he has the leg for this. They spot it on the midfield stripe, so it is a 60-yard attempt here. Elsewhere, second quarter in D.C. And now the Redskins, they've opened up a 2-touchdown lead there. That'll be a game to monitor as we go along. Good starting field position for the New York Giants here as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And he finds a man on a crossing route. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
That's what I'm talking about. Nice hit, boy.
A 7-yard pickup.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Now Jones. He's going to let this go for the end zone. Tate bringing it in for the Giant touchdown. Golden Tate. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Giants are able to add on to their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And you're under a minute to go in the half, a first half that hasn't been particularly kind to you. How do you think they'll play this?
Well, I think the smart approach is to run out the clock, lick your wounds at the half, and see if you can come up with a strategy to play better in the second. But there's also something to challenging your offense right here. You know, hey, guys, you help dig this hole. See if you can get us out of it a little bit before the half runs out. Let's go make some plays.
Now Jackson on first down. Steen's got it. That throw good for 4. It's second down. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6.
58, right over there, right over there. Yeah, yeah. Mike, 58, right there. Watch QB,
now Jackson. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
58, Mike. Let's go, defense. Let's go, defense. Go 58's the Mike. Come on. You better run it.
On 3rd down, Jackson. And he's got Snead. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 31-yard line. Ravens going to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. Jackson now 7 of 10 here in this first half, and he's got a 1st and 10. Jackson will throw again. Forced out to his left. And that's going to be incomplete. 12 seconds left.
Thrown to the sideline and incomplete. It's 2nd down and 10.
So on 2nd down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. From the right hash, this from 48. And his kick is absolutely perfect. So a big play before the end of the half to get him into this spot, and they cash in with 3.
How about the 1-2 to the solar plexus on that one? The big play, the field goal, not much time left on the clock. That's the way to go into the half.
This will be taken about the 12. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30.
At their own 31-yard line.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. They'll indeed start on the ground to run that clock. And he's going to be taken down here as that will lead us to the end of the first half of play. So we have reached halftime here in an 11-point contest. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. From the 31, Jackson. And the giant rush gets home as down he goes. Dexter Lawrence in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. There's Jackson on 3rd and long. Flushed out right. Oh, now he'll try and chuck it deep left side. And he can't quite pick it. No interception so far. That probably should have been their first, but at least it's 4th down. Here's Sam Cook now, as he'll punt it away for the second time. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. Taking it about the 16. A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And it'll be Giant football, 1st and 10. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we've got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done.
A 1-yard gain there following the 3-yard pickup on first down. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game.
You ain't doing nothing today. Check 4, check 4. Any weapon. Smith.
57. Mike, 57.
Here we go.
Jones operating from the gun. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. From the 26, they'll line up on 2nd and 4. Jackson now. This will be caught by Brown. And he's able to get this down deep on the Giants side of the field. A big play that time for the Ravens. 54 yards. So the field flips here as they'll go to work at the 20 now on 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. They run. It's Mark Ingram. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
And 5 in the secondary now for the Giants on 3rd down. Jackson from the shotgun. Well, the two men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively, brings up 4th down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Hey, box truck, box truck.
On 2nd and 12, Jones. That's complete. He's got Barkley out of the backfield. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. Charles, did I just hear that right? They declined the personal foul. 3 yards, they just declined it.
And I have to think that the official is thinking to himself, did I just hear that correctly, that you declined that one? All I can think of is that someone on the field got confused. Because it had to, because you're going to take the yards on that penalty each and every time.
13 yards, good for a Giant first down.
It appears they found something that's working, and they keep going back to it. I guess you can actually say he has the hot hands now, doesn't he?
Yeah, well, it's one thing to hit your guy out of the backfield once, hit him a couple times. Yeah, you're right. Maybe they're onto something.
And I think a lot of that is simply, if you get it to him in space, more times than not, he's going to get more yardage than you expect out of each play.
Jones throwing complete here to Tate. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. He'll get 15 and a Giants first down. And he's certainly been a huge factor in this when he's got the 2 touchdowns to his credit. Now they look to him again. He picks up the first.
Yeah, I can hear everyone saying, well, why don't you cover him, double him, triple him, do what you have to do. But sometimes they get locked into such a groove and such a connection, it doesn't matter how many guys are in his area.
He certainly looks to be in that groove right now. Here's Jones on first down. He completes it to Tate. He'll get 15 and a Giants first down.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
Back now in Baltimore. It's the Giants with the football and also the lead as we get set to start quarter number 4. Jones heading up here 1st and 10, and he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. Throwing Jones. And this would have been intercepted if he could have gotten the feet in. Instead, it's incomplete. Boy, that really could have turned this one upside down. after the incomplete pass. Here now is 2nd and 10.
Check, check. Lucky. Slam.
Saquon Barkley running right. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
Back to throw. Jones. And is it a touchdown? No signal. No, they say incomplete.
Well, this at least is the right idea. I think they've got to get the tight end more involved.
He had just 1 target in the first half, incomplete. Now incomplete here with the first target of the second half.
Yeah, should not stop them at all from going back to him to find him.
And Rosas puts this one through. And that will extend their lead even further. A big one there. That gives him a little cushion and makes it a 2-score game.
Yeah, bled a little time off the clock, put some points on the board. It's not totally out of reach yet, but it has to feel pretty good to them right now because as a defender, you go out on the field and say, guess what? You can put some points on the board, but that won't beat us.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Brings up 2nd and 9.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Operating from the gun. Jackson. Incomplete. Trying to get it to Willie Snead there. And it's 3rd down.
I'm not even sure I know who this guy is out there playing right now. This is very unlike him. One of the most accurate guys in the league. Totally off his game right now.
I don't know. I was going to ask you what you pin it on, but defensively, they've been pretty solid.
But sometimes, you know, those defenders, they get into the receivers pretty well, and if they chip away at their timing, it's going to affect what you're doing throwing the ball as well.
The Ravens on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. And he's going to be stopped here a few yards short of the first as the tackle is made at the 33. It's a 7-yard run, but it does bring up 4th down.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing him further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it.
Check 59, Mike is 59. Hey, tight.
They'll try and throw for it with Jackson. Man open, that's Jaleel Scott. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down. On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked off by Jordan Poyer. And it's a good return here as he'll get all the way up close to the 35.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games, and now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10.
Watch tight ends right. Watch tight ends right. 3 down, go.
Now Jones, going to throw again. Letting one fly, and intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Anthony Averett picks it. Cooper was the intended target. Two-score game here in the fourth, and that pick, it kind of keeps the door ajar, doesn't it?
It does, and you wonder about their strategy because with a two-score lead, you would think maybe you're just sitting on it and trying to drain some clock. It's almost like they felt like, hey, we've got a good cushion. We can keep pressing it. It ended up costing them.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They begin the drive with Hill. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets them to 2nd and 4. Under 4 to go now as the clock runs, and they come up on 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 4 at the 39-yard line.
Mike's 59. Mike's 59. Get in the weight room. Get in the weight room.
Here's Jackson. Steps away to his left. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. No gain that time on the completion, and it'll be 3rd down.
I know you felt that one.
The Ravens on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 4. Here's Jackson from the gun. He'll throw. Got an open man. It's Scott. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. 21 yards there on 3rd down. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
Defense wins championships, baby.
Throwing on 1st down, it's Jackson. Now Brown, oh, he lost the football. And the Giants have it. It's picked up. And now off to the races down the right side. And this is taken into the end zone. A fumble recovery and a Giants touchdown. The offense, they've had some sloppy moments. Sloppy there again on that one, and it could be the backbreaker.
From a defensive perspective, if the offense is going to be sloppy, you've got to take advantage of that. And that's what they've done all game long.
PAT up and good by Rosas. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. From the gun, Jackson.
You ain't going nowhere.
And this one complete to Smith. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A gain there of 30 big ones. Defensively, I know they have the comfortable lead here in the fourth, but they do not want to give up big plays like that.
They want to finish strong. So oftentimes in this situation, you tighten up underneath in your coverage, and you bring your safeties back. They can pick up anything that leaks through. But in the meantime, upfield, you're making plays on the football.
A very solid gain of 27. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It's a loss of 4 on the first down play. To throw again on second down. Jackson. He's got his man. It's Andrews. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's third down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense...
And he will be hit from behind and run over. Wow. Dexter Lawrence, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it.
You better be afraid of me.
59.
Jackson throwing on 4th down. And this is going to be incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Giants are going to get the football back. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And 3 timeouts remaining here defensively, but really not much reason to use them at this point, as this one is all but over. He's got a man, complete. And they finally get him down, but not before he reaches the 34. A big play there for the Giants. And even 40 yards. There goes a deep ball, end zone. And nearly picked it off. He had a chance to come down with that in the end zone, but it'll wind up just being incomplete. From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. That one looks like he'll throw here. And a big loss here as he's taken down. So a victory here for the men in blue, the New York Giants. And it was their defense that led the way, allowing just 3 points, that lone field goal in the entire second half.
And remember the old adage, offense sells tickets. Defense does what?
Wins championships.
And in this game, maybe a championship wasn't won, but a game was by the defense.